Dallas Cowboys cornerback Jordan Lewis, who missed the team's Monday night game against the Houston Texans due to a neck injury, is optimistic about his return this Sunday against the Washington Commanders. Speaking to reporters, Lewis expressed confidence in his recovery, saying, "I feel really good, hopefully playing barring injury. I'm feeling way better." This season, injuries have plagued the Cowboys' defense, with key players such as Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Eric Kendricks, and Darren Bland missing games at various points. Despite the challenges, Lewis emphasized the importance of resilience and execution. You always have plans for your guys like Micah and D-Law. It's kind of hard to adjust, especially mid-season. It's always tough. But that's our job, to execute and play good ball. That's the bottom line, he stated. Defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer has had to adapt by relying on younger players and experimenting with new defensive strategies. Zimmer acknowledged the difficulties, but highlighted the opportunity for less experienced players to step up. "It's not like we're trying to integrate young guys. It's guys needing to go in there and play," he said. He has also implemented different defensive looks and formations to challenge opposing offenses, a strategy Lewis supports, but believes requires more consistent execution over the course of a game. We just definitely got to believe in it for 4 quarters. That's the bottom line. We've got to go out there and execute, Lewis remarked. The Cowboys' defensive performance against Houston revealed their inconsistency, with 28 points allowed in the first and fourth quarters combined, while only conceding 6 in the middle 2 quarters. This inconsistency underscores the need for better focus and teamwork as they face Washington. Sunday's matchup against the Commanders adds another layer of intrigue, with former Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn and pass-game coordinator Joe Witt Jr. now leading Washington's defense. The Commanders, currently 7-4 and in second place in the NFC East, have exceeded expectations under Quinn's leadership. Despite the respect Dallas players hold for Quinn, Lewis stressed the importance of pride and focus. We got to go out there and play with some pride, number one. Regardless of whoever has what scheme and how we feel about somebody, he said. Speculation around Sunday's game is swirling. Will Lewis' return help stabilize a defense that struggled without key players? How will Quinn's intimate knowledge of the Cowboys' offensive tendencies impact the game plan? And can Zimmer's defensive adjustments finally come together for a full 4 quarters? With the playoff race tightening, this divisional showdown carries high stakes for both teams, promising an intense battle on the field. The Dallas Cowboys are gearing up for key roster changes as wide receiver Brandon Cooks and defensive end Marshawn Kneeland have been designated to return from injured reserve. Cooks, sidelined since early October due to a knee procedure complicated by an infection, and Kneeland, who underwent surgery for a partially torn lateral meniscus, are now eligible to resume practice. This opens a 3-week window for the team to activate them to the 53-man roster or place them on season-ending IR. Brandon Cook's second season in Dallas has been underwhelming so far, with just 9 receptions for 91 yards in 4 games. His absence allowed younger players like Jalen Tolbert and Kevontae Turpin to shine, which might limit Cook's role upon his return. However, his veteran experience could still add depth to the receiving core as Dallas navigates a competitive NFC East race. Marshawn Kneeland, a rookie selected 56th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft, has had a limited impact, with just 10 tackles and no sacks in 5 games before his injury. With DeMarcus Lawrence still on injured reserve, Kneeland might get significant opportunities in the defensive line rotation, especially as the Cowboys aim to bolster their edge rush. Micah Parsons has returned to action, but the team still needs reinforcement to sustain defensive pressure. Meanwhile, the Cowboys face additional setbacks. Safety Marquise Bell is out for the season after dislocating his shoulder in Week 11, which will likely require surgery. Bell's absence will be felt on defense and special teams, adding to the team's challenges. Head coach Mike McCarthy hinted at more potential roster changes, including offensive lineman Chuma Edoga, who has yet to practice after being designated for return from a toe injury. Tight end Jake Ferguson is still progressing through concussion protocol, further highlighting the team's health concerns. With a critical game against the Washington Commanders on the horizon, the timing of these roster changes adds intrigue. Washington, bolstered by former Cowboys coaches Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., has emerged as a formidable contender in the division with a 7-4 record. The Cowboys will need all hands on deck to navigate this high-stakes matchup. Speculation now surrounds how these returning players will impact the team's performance. Can Cooks rediscover his rhythm and provide the offensive spark Dallas needs? Will Nealand seize the opportunity to make his mark on the defensive line? With injuries continuing to shape the roster, the Cowboys' ability to adapt could define their playoff aspirations. Payton Manning, known for his quick wit and love of football, made headlines during the 2024 Country Music Awards, CMAs, by delivering a sharp jab at the Dallas Cowboys and their owner, Jerry Jones. Manning, co-hosting the event alongside Luke Bryan and Lainey Wilson at Nashville's Bridgestone Arena, seamlessly blended his football humor with the glitz of the music industry during the opening monologue. The moment unfolded when Wilson highlighted Kelsey Ballerini, a nominee for Female Vocalist of the Year and Musical Event of the Year for Cowboys Cry 2, her collaboration with Noah Kahan. After Wilson's playful remark, "This is the year we discovered that Cowboys Cry 2, Manning jumped in with a perfectly timed quip. Alright, that's enough about Jerry Jones. The crowd's reaction underscored the sting of the comment, which felt like a direct commentary on the Cowboys' disastrous season. The joke landed at a time when the Cowboys are enduring one of their worst stretches in years. With a 3-7 record and the dubious distinction of being the only major American men's professional team across the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and MLS without a home win in 2024, the pressure on head coach Mike McCarthy and owner Jerry Jones has reached a boiling point. Adding to their woes, Dallas faced a humiliating blowout loss to the Houston Texans just days before, during which the AT&T Stadium's roof partially collapsed, a moment symbolic of their season's collapse. Jerry Jones has tried to deflect criticism, dismissing claims that McCarthy has lost control of the locker room as so overblown and attributing the tough times to the nature of staying in the league long enough. However, his comments have drawn comparisons to President Joe Biden's moments of verbal missteps, with ESPN's Stephen A. Smith criticizing Jones' statements during press conferences. "I'm genuinely concerned about Jerry Jones," Smith remarked, highlighting the billionaire's inconsistent messaging. Smith even joked that Jones, born just weeks before President Biden in 1942, might be showing his age both in his decisions and public statements. As the Cowboys stumble through the 2024 season, speculation swirls about the future of the team's leadership. Could McCarthy's tenure be nearing its end? And how long will fans tolerate a franchise that seems stuck in perpetual mediocrity, despite its historical reputation and Jones' nearly $16 billion net worth? Manning's well-placed barb at the CMAs might reflect a sentiment shared by many. The Cowboys' struggles have transcended football and become fodder for pop culture mockery. What remains to be seen is whether Dallas can salvage any pride in the remainder of the season, or if the Cowboys will continue to serve as the NFL's punchline, both on the field and off.